Airlines are struggling to keep up with the demand for pilots, as veteran staff members have retired early and military recruitment has decreased. This severe shortage in pilots threatens most US-based airlines. Yet, a local middle school might have just found the solution. Azalea Middle School in St. Petersburg, Florida, hosts a very unique program created to engage students and inspire them to pursue an aviation-focused career path. The program's instructor, Captain Reese, reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in bringing a helicopter out for the Great American Teach-In Day and speaking with his students. Along with a representative from Women in Aviation, the Tampa Bay chapter, Nikki Gallagher and I jumped at the opportunity to speak with these future aviators. Join us aboard a Robinson R-44 Raven II helicopter as we fly from Albert Whitted Airport in St. Petersburg for the very brief 5-minute flight to Azalea Middle School.
St. Petersburg, Whitted Airport. Automated weather observation 1453 Zulu. Wind 350 at 06. Visibility 10. Sky condition broken 1,400. Overcast.
Wooded Tower, helicopter 8914 Papa.
Helicopter 8914 Papa, Wooded Tower.
Request present position departure to the west.
Helicopter 14 Papa, winds are 3207, altimeter is 3012, runway, correction, departure from the south, ramp at your own risk.
Departure at my own risk, thank you sir. 14 Papa.
Number 73 Papa, if you'd like, I'm going to try to hand you off to Tampa.
You can just stay 5 on that.
And you can pick up the IFI clearance with them.
Will do. 73 Papa. I'll just maintain this heading until I get to Tampa. I would say once we get there, do a left orbit around that, and then set up for approach this direction.
Got it.
Because the wind is 320, something like that.
That way we can abort into the wind if we need to.
Yeah. How did you like that takeoff?
That was good.
All right, so right now we are aboard the helicopter and we are heading out to Azalea Middle School. Say hi, everybody.
Hi. Hello.
Hey. So we are going to go out there for the Great American Teach-In Day, show them a helicopter. Tower and crane both in sight.
Yeah. Can aim right up the rotors. That's very nice. Tower, just 6 will take off the inbound on the RNAV runway 7, looking for a full stop.
Yep.
6 will take off, Wooded Tower, matching inbound on the approach, wind is 3207, altimeter is 3012.
So how is everybody doing this morning? Tired? Come on. Who was that? Was that you? Hey, at least it's a good answer. What time did you guys get up this morning?
7:30.
How are you tired getting up at 7? That's sleeping in. Come on.
7:30.
But I was up at 4 o'clock and I'm old.
You're not that old.
Yes, I am. All right, so obviously you guys saw that we brought a helicopter here. So my name is Steven. A little information how I got into aviation. And then I'll pass it over to Nikki. She'll tell you a little bit as well. So I have always loved helicopters. I grew up in Pinellas County, a little bit north of here, about 20 minutes. And I remember whenever Bayflight would fly over my house, I was like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, and I'd run outside and I'd just see the helicopters, and I loved it. I knew that they were going off to go save someone's life. I knew there was somebody that was either sick or injured and Bayflight was going to go save their life, and I loved that. In middle school, about the same age as you guys, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office brought their helicopter out. I fell in love. Same thing, they landed it out in the field. I was sitting in the stands, they brought us over, and I loved the helicopter. And I've loved helicopters ever since. Going a little further, in high school, since I obviously couldn't fly helicopters yet, I joined the local fire department as a junior firefighter, as an explorer. I went through their version of a fire academy for, youth, and I went through EMT school. So I was an EMT when I was about 16, 17. Joined the Navy when I graduated from high school because I wanted to fly helicopters so much, and I knew flying the helicopter in the Navy would be awesome. I didn't exactly pay attention to the contract and just kind of listened to what the recruiter had to say, and found out that, yeah, it may say air crew on my paperwork, it didn't guarantee I'd go to flight school. I didn't go to flight school. I loved it. It was fun, but I still wanted to fly helicopters. Coming out of the Navy, I went to the United States Army. And I said, hey, I want the contract to say pilot. I learned my lesson last time. So I went through all the paperwork, was ready to go off to Warrant Officer Candidate School to become a helicopter pilot. I wanted to fly the Apaches. About 2 weeks before shipping off to WOCS, Warrant Officer Candidate School, I got in a car accident. I hurt my back. I was no longer qualified to be a pilot in the Army. The economy was doing pretty bad. I lost everything. I was broke. I was living in my buddy's garage. I had a bed in the corner of the garage, and that's all I had. And I did that for about 3 years as we built our new business. Thankfully, that business was very successful, and it gave me the money to be able to pay for private helicopter lessons so I could enjoy flying helicopters. I recently took a Bell 206 helicopter, which is a little bit larger than this, around the country. And I filmed it for my YouTube channels. Part of what we're recording today is for my YouTube channels as well. I'll give you guys a little flyer where you can go check out some of the videos where we flew around the country, different people we interviewed. We hung out with the U.S. Coast Guard at Air Station Sacramento, got to tour their base, look at some of their aircraft, and we had a lot of fun.
So hi everybody, my name is Nikki. You guys look so fantastic today in your uniforms. How do you guys like wearing the uniforms? Fun. Yes? Okay. There's a little bit of pride when you get to put on your uniform and come to school, or for me, go to work. So I'm actually a first officer at Envoy Air, which is American Eagle. If you guys have ever gotten on a plane and ridden somewhere over in the country, you might have ridden on one of my airplanes. I fly an Embraer 175, which holds about 76 people. It's a jet, 2 engines. So that's definitely a different perspective on aviation than Steven, where he flies helicopters. I don't have any time in a helicopter. I've only ever flown airplanes. A little bit about my backstory. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and the closest thing to something like this was Bring Your Tractor to School Day. And that was a day where future farmers of America would come and convince us to become farmers. So obviously I didn't become a farmer, but I did end up in the aviation field. I had a little bit of influence from my parents. Both my mom and my dad are in the industry. My dad is a captain at Southwest, and my mom is a flight attendant for American Airlines. So I definitely had some influence from them. It was kind of in my DNA and my blood. By a show of hands, how many of you have relatives or friends or family in aviation? Nice. Okay, so you guys have some influence from outside sources, right? That's kind of exciting. Have you guys ever ridden on a airline flight to somewhere else in the country? Or okay, wow, nice. Okay, very cool. So yeah, it's a really fun career. When I decided I wanted to do it, I was 21 years old. So I had already completed 4 years of college in something completely unrelated. I wanted to become a physical therapist. So I did my 4 years of college in exercise science. And I got to the end of that 4 years and I realized there was no way I was going to give up flight benefits, because I had flight benefits from my parents and I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see the world. And what better way to do it than get a career in the aviation industry, right? So that's what I did. I came down, I moved from Pennsylvania to Florida, and I started my flight training at a Part 61 school. So I worked on my private, my instrument airplane, my commercial, and then I went on to become a flight instructor. So I did my multi-engine instructor, my CFI, my CFII, and then I finished all up with that in about 9 months. And then I started my time flight instructing. And it took me from the time I touched an airplane for the very first time to the time I stepped foot at my airline, it was about 2 years. So it happened pretty quickly for me, but it was really exciting. I got to the airlines right as COVID hit. So you can imagine the world shut down and flights were being canceled. It was pretty devastating. It was the first time in my lifetime that I've ever seen something like that happen. So I got furloughed, which was a big bummer, but I still prevailed. I still wanted to stick with my aviation career. So I just held out until the airlines began hiring again and called us all back to training. So I went back to do that in June of 2021, so last summer. And then I finished all my training again and I got back out on the line, and I've been flying people like you guys all around the country. I'm based in Miami, so I fly a lot of some of the international stuff, and then some of the stuff here just domestically in the United States. So it's pretty exciting, pretty cool. It's a really great way to see the world. For me right now, just the country. I don't get to do all the crazy stuff yet, but it's pretty cool. So I'm here also not only on behalf of airline pilots, but I'm also here on behalf of the Women in Aviation Tampa Bay chapter. So my position there is that I'm actually the social media chair. So I'm the one that's going to be behind the pictures you guys see on our social media, videos, stuff like that. It's kind of a new position, so we're just figuring it out as we go. But for the younger generation, you guys love your phones, as I can see. So it's good to get you guys connected that way. And I have some stuff for you guys to hand out and some ways to get connected and hopefully get you guys into some of our meetings and activities planned for the next few months. So I'll be around for you guys to ask questions. If you guys have any questions about the airline industry or just the profession or questions about my bring up, I'd be happy to answer any of it. So I'm happy to see you all here today. Thanks for coming.
Pulls out the amount of fuel.
How do you work the two-man system?
I love it.
How long did it get you to get going on YouTube on your YouTube?
So I started my finance channel. You can go.
I'm gonna hand one to Ann.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube?
It's okay.
What's good, YouTube?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What do you do, man?
No, I've never tried it. It does have two inflatable vests. There's two separate. For more information about Azalea Middle School's very unique aviation program, contact Captain Reese. His contact information will be in the show notes. And for any young ladies out there that are interested in pursuing a career in aviation, the contact information for the media chairperson of the Women in Aviation Tampa Bay chapter and a career airline pilot, Nikki Gallagher, can also be found below.